Hello, hello, hello there, my crafty buds. It's your crafty bud, Peggy. And welcome to Stormy's Imagination Station. Guys, it's been another one of them damn weekends again. My kidneys have been bothering me. I've been off work for a couple of days, so I gotta go back today. The stupid car, yes, 2 valves were blown and we had to resurface the heads. Can you imagine? I mean, it's just like, really, God bless. It never fails. Guys, I did get a few things listed on my eBay store. I don't have any deals right now. I've just got some little costume jewelry pieces that I've got on there. I'm trying to make a couple of bucks on just so I can start out. But my link's in my about if you want to go check it out. Like I said, no deals right now, though I don't have. I've got like $5 jewelry pieces with shipping going on. Just trying to get started, you know, just try to get it open with something. But anyways, guys, what I've been working on past couple days is I've been working on my Horsin Around book again, y'all guys. I kind of set her down for a minute and been working on her again. I wanted to catch y'all up on what I've done. So guys, I started out on this before me and Mark met. It begins, I've showed you guys this page right here. This was back in 1989. The horses and stuff that we have in here. Now guys, I've added one of these awesome horse books that my lady Krista sent me. And then my Crystal Gill made this for me. And I've done put a couple of horses in here. This is my Shakey's Pleasure. I had a couple of pictures of me in the shed row. You can't hardly see me kissing him there. But he was one of the horses that I took care of back in 1989. And I've also added a couple of the tags in here that you ladies made me. One of them's got one of Mark's exercise riders. This was the wife to one of the jockeys that used to come over to the Pearls Wigs, one of the places that he worked. And this is me and my foster sisters, and one of the horses that that he ended up getting at Ellis Park was before I started. And then this is one of Mark holding his horse there. It's Hurry, I've Got It. Then we have Bandit Proof, which is another one that Mark was taking care of. And then we've got Dewana Penny. Now, he didn't get to run him this day, but this was one of his, and he gorgeous. Just loved him. In real life, that was one of the most beautiful horses. He was almost coal black, he looked, until you got him out in the light. And then this is my Shakey's Pleasure. This is one that I had from then. And he was a cool little old horse. I ended up with him. He's a funny story. He actually chased his groom around the barn. He busted loose from the wall. He had popped him in the neck one day. He went in, he was hung under. And Shakey was one of them horses that when you went in the stall, he'd throw his both back feet at you to the left, and you would come in on the right. It's just one of the things that he did. You know, he didn't really want to kick you. He was just doing it. And anyways, Lee got mad at him, popped him in the neck. Anyways, Shakey broke loose from the wall and proceeded to chase the dude around the barn. It was the funniest thing I'd ever saw in my life. We couldn't even help catch him that day. Me and Sylvester, the man that was standing there with me, was laughing our heads off. We'd never seen a horse chase nobody around the barn. If he'd got a hold of him, it would have been it. So then, guys, we come to 1990. And this is what I did with this picture. I took one of the beautiful tags one of you ladies sent me and turned it into a pocket. I also added some beaded trim, velvet beaded trim up here on the top. I used the Kentucky Derby background. We were at the Meadowlands then. This is in New Jersey. And I got a couple of pictures of the racetrack there. You can see the big track, the barn areas, where we stayed on the backside. And it was night racing there. So we were there for quite a few meets. And these are the tags that I decided to use in here that I'm just going to tell a little bit about the horses from that era. And these are the ephemera cards that come with the Off to the Races set. And then I use some of you girls' clips that you've made me on the top to hold the other two. Then we have horses down inside of here. We've got old Court Hugger, and there I am with her at the Meadowlands, and this is one of Mark's horses, Dream Irish. And then we've got Miss Uncle Albert. She had the biggest head. God love her to death. She had a true long horse face. And then we've got, here's one of mine, is Come On Doc. We were still in New Jersey. There we were at Garden State Park. And we traveled that circuit quite a bit. And you guys all did such good work for me. I'm adding your things that you've made me. Ninja Attack. So I decided to share with you guys my racehorse pictures as I put them in. Here's Quiet Pro. That's one of Mark's. You can see me there in the background there in my little leather jacket on. Boy, I was young then. Eastern Bullet. And these are all New Jersey pictures, like I said, from, these are 1990, 91. 90 and 91 these pictures are from. And that's what I've done in the pockets. And this is how I've kind of done these in here. And I'll switch those around again by year. Then, guys, I turned the page. And we're in 1992. And this one I've done from the horse's mouth. And I wanted to come up with something different. Y'all know me. I'm always trying to do something different. So with this one, I cut out the horse's mouth, and then I hinged him and put a wheel behind it with pictures from us from that era that turns inside of the horse's mouth. Isn't that cool? And then there's a picture of Mark in there. Now I've got another one of me to find. And then, guys, we're going on to 92, 93. This was one of Mark's big horses. It was called Explosive Silence. And she was a big stakes horse. And so I kind of wanted to do this page up like a stakes horse. And the back side of this will be done up in my favorite horse. But this is her. Mark didn't get a runner that day. This was at Ellis Park. That was Mr. Gene Norman and his son Cody. They took her to Ellis Park. She won that big stakes race that day. Mark had to stay behind. But that was his horse he took care of. And then this is him with Copper Pop. She was another one. She was really pretty. And there I am way back here. You see me? I was young then, boy. In my 20s. And this is me with one of mine, Joe La Me. She was a little bit of a nut. That's Calvin Burrell there in the irons. And if y'all know Calvin, he rode a lot of my horses back in that day. And then here all of us derelicts are. We won the big Clean Barn Award then. And boy, look at me mugged for the camera there. That was really a long time ago there, guys. That was back in 1992. Our barn was selected as one of the big barns of the week back there, so they come and took our picture. Here I am with old Bad Fast. That was another one of the, boy, he was a hard-knocking old horse. He was. He just wanted to go out there and run. And then this is my heart right here. This is me and my Misty Wagon. If you can see, I'm always trying to give him a kiss in the picture. And he was one of them horses that nobody wanted in the barn, and everybody'd outworked him, and he was down on himself. And him and I became good friends. And this was all the years that was my favorite horse was Misty. And that year there, he made over $51,000 in racing while I was taking care of him. He did the best of his career when I had him. Him and I was the best of friends. I really miss him. And guys, that's it for the show and tell so far. That's as far as I've gotten, but I'm kind of going through the years there. So we're up to 1993. I'll be turning the page here and adding another one soon. And I'll be using all you guys' beautiful embellishments in here, as you can see. I'm adding you guys, so I wanted to share that with you guys as I work on it. Then I told y'all I was working on some paper, so I wanted to share that with you real quick. I did several different techniques over the weekend, guys. This was done down in a pan of water, and I sprinkled nail polish and food coloring and achieved this look. And it's real crunchy where the nail polish is dried and crinkly, and you can feel it, and I just thought it turned out pretty cool. This is another nail polish page. Just something I was messing with, y'all. Like I said, I just laid the paper down in the water and just did this over it, and then just brought the paper up and drained it off and dried it. And this is what I come up with. I love that, don't you? It turned out really good. is a good way to use up a bunch of old nail polish. This one is just crunchy and chunky. And then, guys, I took one of them Keurig coffee things apart, and I made me some coffee stained invoice papers. And this is what that turned out like. And it just reminds me of them old invoice papers you see in the old body shops back in the day, and they're just grungy and mungy. And this is what people are using now in their journals. So I was trying to get ahead on some of that, and I set my coffee cup down on it. I dipped it down in it and did all that, and got some pretty cool looks, I thought, for this. It just looks old, like I said, like it's been an old body shop, you know. I remember my dad was a mechanic, and you always seen stuff like this laying around in the office, and it was just dirty and oily and grungy, and they used it and wrote on it anyways, you know, old man Bryant and all of them. And so this is what I did with all of this, all these invoice papers. I just tried to make them look as old as I possibly could, like they'd been in an old body shop. And then I did some shaving cream paper, guys. I tried this, and that turned out pretty good, didn't it? I had to rip it in half. I didn't have a very big to fit that whole paper in, so I just ripped them in half and did them. But I think them turned out pretty good, don't you? And then I did a bag too. I don't have it in here. And then, guys, this is the boiled paper that I did. And I like how it turned out. And I did find out that you really need to smash them down tight. Wrap the thing with wire or whatever, like she says. Because the tighter it is, the more beautiful brilliance you get. But it kind of started out light. I just used different leaves and things out of the yard, y'all. And I didn't put it in a copper pot. So I put a handful of pennies, rusty nails, chains, and then what else did I put down in there? A little bit of vinegar. All I had was the apple cider vinegar with the mother, so I put a little bit of that in there, and it worked just as well. And see, when you make it tighter, how it turns out? Look at that. I think that was awesome, don't you? And then the lighter ones were from on top, because I didn't wrap mine real tight. I just laid down the chain and stuff on top of it. So the bottom ones got more of this burnedy look to it. But it works, guys. And all I used was that watercolor paper. This is 110 pound of that watercolor paper you get at Walmart. You see some of the leaves that I used and stuff. But I think that turned out really good. I boiled it for about an hour and a half. And I took them out, look at that one, and let it dry. And I think that turned out really good, don't y'all? I like it. I think that turned out really nice. And so I'm going to try it again. And like I said, next time I do it, I'm going to really clamp it down. Because I really like that dark burnty look that come out of that. And this one's one of my favorites. Look at that. That turned out good, didn't it? And that's from being on the bottom. This is another one of the shaving cream papers that I did. And then this is another bold paper. Look at that. See that burnty edge? I just love that, don't you? And I just used some, I used a couple of the trumpet vine flowers. I used some of the pods on there, and just random leaves. There was some little violets out front that we used some of them, and I just kind of chunked them down in there and folded the paper over. But like I said, tighter is better. So I found that out with that. The tighter you wrap it, the better. You'll get more of this gorgeousness like this. But there you go, guys. That's my several paper techniques I did. I did the boiled, the shaving cream and coffee stained, and then I also did the nail polish. So just something that y'all might want to try to squirrel around with. And I just wanted to touch base with y'all. So guys, until the next time, be crafty, be cool, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you, alright? Bye-bye.